Okay, now we're moving on to the other side of this pouch. We've done all this now, yeah? We've got our little pockets. Everything is lovely. I'm a bit concerned it's a bit flimsy, but I'll have a think about that as I go. So taking the other piece, which is the smaller piece, this piece is, oh, let me see my notes for a minute. 10 1/4 by 5 1/2, yeah? Again, bring it up together and just finger press it. Okay, so you know where the middle is. Now, we need to put some elastic in here. I got two types here. This one is like standard knicker elastic, yeah? But I got a feeling that will pull the pouch sides in. It's too strong. It's too strong, that one. I'm not going to use it. Now this one, I think we've all got loads of this very sort of loose elastic that we were using for making masks recently. Now we want a piece that's 8 inches long. Okay, so I think I could be wrong. I'm trying to guess how strong it'll be. So I'm saying 8 inches. Okay, so I've cut a piece of this very loose elastic, 8 inches long, and I'm gonna fold that in half. Yeah, oops. Fold that in half so I know where the middle is. Boom, there's the middle. And I'm just gonna mark the middle. Okay, so I've marked the middle, and I'm just gonna fold this in half and mark my middle. Yeah, then I'm gonna mark, ooh, let me see, about 1/2 inch from the edges, 1/2 inch from the edges, both sides. I'm going to mark that as well. Okay, then get a pin. Where's the pin? Nice pin. Just, you know, with my centre mark on my centre mark, underneath the fold that I've made. For a minute. Oh, it's not easy, is it? I'm going to pin my back is dirty now, it's getting late. I'm going to pin that elastic to the material, right? So the reason I pinned it is so I got as much stretch that way as I have stretched that way. Right, okay, so I pinned it in the middle. I'm going to put this under the needle and keeping it on that fold line. There's my fold line. Yeah, more or less. Again, these pens, you know, iron out, so you could do this as well, so that you don't lose your plot. Right, so keeping it under that fold line, I am going to start here and stretch out the material and the elastic together as I zigzag sew it under the machine. Okay, you might want to see me do this, mightn't you? Right, okay, well I know that this, I got to take a little measurement here. I need it in millimeters. Millimeters. I need it in millimeters because my machine works in millimeters. Right, so right, that's 5 millimeters, so I need my stitch to be wider than 5, or at least 5, to hold that in place. Okay, right, let's go to the machine and see how we fare. Right, how do we get going? Okay, so I have set the machine up on a zigzag, a middle zigzag, and I set it at 4 for the width and 1.90 for the length. Okay, now I'm just going to move the material. I want to start on that line that we drew, so I am putting my, well, it's not quite right. Yep, nope, just a minute, get it exactly where I want it. Putting my foot down, and I'm putting my needle down. Now, having put my needle down, that's going to hold it. So now, can you see I can stretch out that, and I want it to be beneath the fold line. Then I can stretch out my material. Ooh, you bumty bum. That might happen to you as well, so don't laugh. I might need to do a couple of stitches. Let's try that again, shall we? Get it right over the top. Trying to get it where I want it, exactly where I want it. Before I stretch it out then. Right, a few stitches in. Makes all the flaming difference. Now, I can stretch out the fabric, stretch out the elastic to meet the fabric. Yeah. As I'm going along, take out my middle pin now, and I can pull my elastic right to where I want it, where this last line is, because I want it to go to there, and keep my finger on that. Double checking it, pulling it back. Come on, oh, gives me all. Sounds like this, where everybody needs an awl. Grab all of it, see? Right. Right, now I've sewn that on, and what I want to do next, yeah, so I've sewn that on, I want to then, matching the edges, where's my pins, matching the edges, oh, I haven't got a flipping pen over here now, where's my pins? I want to leave a slot. Where's my pen? I've got a pen, haven't I? Go get one. Right. Again, we need a turning space, so somewhere like that, yeah. So now starting up at this edge, this is why we didn't start right at the edge. 1/4 inch seam, go back, make sure you go back to your ordinary stitch settings, 1/4 inch seam, back stitch, move your pin if it's in the way. Follow round till you get to your mark, back stitch, go forward to your next mark, back stitch, here's my pin, swivel all the way to the top again and back stitch. Then you can, as we did before, cut off your corners. As I'm right here by my iron, I can very quickly iron that edge in. So that when I turn it, right, so now what I'm going to do is turn it inside out, something hanging on there, yeah, put my finger as I do, roll your seams a little bit, yeah, and then pull that bit flat, and I'm going to give that a quick press. Right, I tried to do it just under the fold so that that bit where we sewn the elastic on isn't showing, is the other side that's showing, so you can't see the ziggy zags, yeah? And then if I go and get the other part of the opposite way up of our thingamy-bobbly boo, yeah? What I'm gonna do is approximately the same place, because you can see the line, yeah? So approximately the same place. I am gonna pin that in, yeah, and the same with this end. I'm gonna, I didn't do that very well, did I, Jack? But anyway, I'm taking a view from here to here, that's approximately the right way, approximately the right side. Maybe I could have made that elastic a little bit shorter, maybe, right? Because there seems to be quite a lot of it. But now, what I want to do, I hope you can see this, what I want to do is I'm going to, again, give this a bit of a pleating. So I'm going to say, well, I want one pleat there, and I want one pleat there. I mean, it's far easier for you to fiddle with it than me to try and do it on camera. Yeah, so I'm going to give that a bit of a pleat there. And then I'm going to do the same with the other end. I'm going to say, well, I want 1/4 inch pleat there. And I probably made that one too big. So let's go back. Let's say I only want 1/4 inch pleat there. Yeah. And then another 1/4 inch pleat, like that. Okay, which allows me to have that one. And then another one, like that there. And then if I concertina that back up, yeah, that'll probably work for me. Right, so I know starting off I'm all right. So let's get the iron, hold it down. Iron that end in, turn it around. Iron that end in. Does that give me a flat bit in the middle? Yes, it does. Right, so I'll iron that bit in. Right, okay. I've ironed it. Not too happy about that, but I think I can sort that as I go. Right, so starting off, take that pin out now because I'm happy. Starting off at this end, teeny back stitch, and back down again. To the corner, pick it up and swivel it, keeping my pleats in place. And I'm going to follow now around, and I'm going to move that to make it look neater, following around the bottom, keeping my pleats in place again, swivel, take my pin out, and up the side, over the top and back again. So that's my little elastic. Now it's not that elastic for me, it's fine, but if I said 8, didn't I, on that very loose elastic, when I do it next time I won't use 8. I wanted it to be more gathered than that. I will probably use between 7 and 7.5. I will test it, because that's not quite as elasticated as I would like it, as it turns out. But there we are. Anyway, so that's our 2 sides of pockets done, and we need to go back to the table now and see how we put it all together. Okay, I am kind of doing this as I go, and for my mind this is only a bit of very thin cotton. It's one of the Moda plain prints, but is it Moda? Yeah. I've decided that I want to put some, let me just turn the telly off a minute. Shut up. Right, I want to put some what you would know as Shapeflex Pellon SF101. It's a woven. I don't want to use a non-woven interlining because that's kind of stiff. This is woven, so it's very, very flexible. It's called, if you were to buy it, it's called Shapeflex Pellon SF101, but I don't. I buy it, as you can see, by the meterage from Empress Mills. It's their own make or whatever they sell anyway, and that's how I buy it. So again, I want to cut 11 by 12.5, take into account my selvage. So I'm roughly cutting that. I'm not going poppy, going mad. I'm roughly cutting this. Okay, so again, it's fusible on one side, but you can see it's woven, very loosely woven material. So but it will give a little bit more more of a lining to it. So then what I'm going to do, that's the sticky side up now, onto the back side of my thing. Yep, and I'm just gonna glass head pins I want for this, because I'm going to put it under the iron. So glass head pins. I'm just gonna pin that there. Pin that there. This is the easiest way for me to do it. Pin that there. Right. Then what I'm going to do on my wool ironing mat, because this is a lot of sticky on here, I am going to put down a Teflon sheet or a PVC sheet, whatever you like to call it, and then I'm going to turn it over and that onto the PVC sheet, and I'm going to iron and fuse that to that, and then I can cut around it and it won't stick to my ironing board because it'll be on the Teflon sheet. Okay, I just wanted to show you. Can you hear it? This is a Teflon sheet, so that when I put that on my iron board and I ironed, then this will stick to the sheet, but you can just peel it up and it doesn't affect your ironing board or your wool mat or anything. So they're very useful, these, you know, they're quite cheap and they're very useful. Right, so this is now stuck to this as I wanted it. Can go around with scissors, but to be honest with you, you know me, I prefer to just follow things around with my rotary cutter. I'll just quickly do this. I'm not worried about that end. Actually, I should have said, if those of you got it, for doing this sort of thing, instead of using the big 45cm one, you should use the little 25cm one, because it goes round curves a lot easier. I got all these gadgets and I forget to use them. But actually the 25cm cutter is better than the 45cm cutter when you're cutting around curves. Okay, so now that is done to that. So now, well, we're still not there. Now we've got to get the zip out and figure out the zip.